Hi YouTubers, and welcome to my new section of video games and consoles. This is video games and consoles from the loft, and this is going to give me an opportunity to show you guys my personal collection of gaming history. And over the coming season I'll be showing you plenty of accessories, consoles, handheld and tabletop video games, and much more. So sit back and relax, and I'll have a good old natter about some great gaming history, and part one's coming up. Oh, PS. Woohoo! So, here for you today, I've got two tabletop video games by Grandstand. We've got Star Force here, which was released in 1984, and Astro Wars, which was released in 1981. Now, Grandstand was a company who were live from the 70s to the 80s here in the United Kingdom. So I think it's fair to say, as they're no longer in existence, that these types of games that they sold are actually becoming quite collectible. So if you collect retro games, these are for you. Now, the company, what they would do would import these games from different manufacturers such as Tomy, Epoch and Entex, rebrand the game name, and then stick the Grandstand logo on the top. So let's start off with Astro Wars. Now, most countries outside the United Kingdom will know this game as Galaxy 2, as that's its original name by its creators at Epoch in Japan. I can never really understand why companies decide to change the names of the games. I suppose it's all to do with marketing and rebranding and that, relaunching. Right, so there's the game. So it's in pretty good condition for its age, as it's 28 years old. A few scuffs and a few light screen scratches. It's got all its original controls and original wording. You've got your on-off switch here. You've got your select button for 4 levels of difficulty. You've got your start button to start. You've got your control stick, which moves left and right, and your rather large arcade style fire button. Now, to power this thing up, under here it takes the four rather large C batteries, but they get pretty drained pretty quickly, so I like to use an adapter. So I've got a universal adapter here which I can change the voltage on, and I can use it on different games and that, so that comes in quite handy. So I'll get that hooked up and we'll have a look at some gameplay. Well, this game is much like Space Invaders or Galaxian, where you have to defend your Earth ships against a fierce invasion. You must dodge the enemy missiles and fire back at the squadrons of attacking fighters, warships and enemy command ships. Your enemies will move down the screen in 3 different phases: horizontal and vertical, come down in a zigzag pattern or a circular manoeuvre. You can score up to about 10,000 points on this game. There's 4 levels of play to test your skill, and you get 5 lives per game. Now, this is a really addictive game, and for people that couldn't afford games consoles at the time of this release, this was a great way to take a great arcade classic home for not a lot of money. And you can still pick these up for a good price for today. I mean, I paid about £30 for these, but I reckon you could probably get them from anything from 10 to 50, depending on the quality and condition and that. In America, you probably pay about $30 to $50. I might be wrong about that, but I reckon that's about the sort of right ballpark figure. So if you do come across one of these, grab yourself one, because it's a great piece of history right here. I'm going to move on to Star Force now, which was released in 1984. Once again, this game was also made at Epoch in Japan. The packaging's pretty still good, a few scuffs here and there. As you can see on the packaging, it rather looks like a Star Wars film than anything else, which is a bit of a rip-off. So let's get it out of the box. Still got the instructions. There we go. This game is a lot wider and has a much clearer screen than Astro Wars. Again, conditions pretty good, just a few light scuffs and scratches here and there. Not bad for its age, to be honest. The control panel's a little different to Astro Wars and has a few extra additions. You still have your large Fire Arcade button here. You've still got your start button here. You've got a level select button again. You now also have a phase select button, and you can mix and match between the two for a more interesting game. You now also have a sound switch, which you can turn the sound on and off, so if you feel the sounds get a little bit repetitive, just switch them off. You also have your power switch in the top left hand corner there, and rather than just having your bog standard control stick, you now have this like fighter jet control stick, which is pretty sweet and pretty good looking actually, and I think it really makes the game, so I like that a lot. And also again underneath you have your battery compartment, where once again it takes four of those C batteries, but just like Astro Wars I won't be using that, and I'll be using the adapter, so I'll plug that in now and we can have a look at some gameplay. I'll just give you a quick look at the control panel there, so you know what I was talking about earlier, and then I'll swoop up to the screen here. The screen is a lot better quality than the Astro Wars game, and the movement is not so juddery and it seems a lot more smoother. And I'll just give you a gist of the game before I start. Evil Death Fighters fly in formation, making swooping attacks on the space fighter from all directions. Use laser cannons and torpedoes to counter-attack as you battle through 7 challenging phases of non-stop space action. Now I can select all sorts of different things here. I can select different levels, and what else can we have? We can have different phases, as I said before, and then all you have to do is just press start and away we go. See, this sounds quite noisy. And here come my enemy fighters, all in different formation. Oh dear. So you can sort of adjust the level or phases to whatever you, well, depending on how good you are at this game. I mean, I haven't played this game in a very long time, and I'm not actually doing very well, to be honest, so it's not a good idea to start at the higher levels, whatever you do. Well, it's a pretty good game, another addictive game, and I definitely recommend you buy this. You can probably pick Star Force up for about the same sort of similar prices as Astro Wars here. Probably about £30 to £50. Again, it all depends on condition, and if you really want to go for the mint ones, then obviously you're going to be paying the higher end of the market. Again, I really hope you've enjoyed both these finds that I've got in my collection, and I hope you'll stay tuned for some more of these, because next week I'll have one game which is pretty fantastic from Coleco, so I hope you'll look forward to that, and I'll see you soon for some more video games and consoles from the loft.